You got what you wanted.
Yeah, the subway dancer.
Yeah, my favorite.
Me too.
Not me.
Actually, it looks like it's the Prodigy singer
Hey, definitely.
that is kind of trying to look cool on stage.
Well, you know
That
what?
thing is one of the things I hate the most in the entire game.
And you know what I'm going to tell you is, I remember I had one of my guys on the team, Kevin Dion, was working on it, and I came in to see how it was going because, like, when I saw the animation, I wasn't all that excited because I'm like, well, this is going to be hard to kind of sell because
Yeah.
I found. On one, the guy's dressed kind of like futuristic, but yet he's doing these bad 80s moves.
But he's not even dressed futuristic.
Well, he's wearing like shorts.
I don't even
and
know
whatever.
where that kid
The point being is that he's doing 80s moves, but he's not dressed.
I'm thinking about getting my pit bull again. For 10 years. Well, I got. Dude, even if I did, how the hell am I gonna afford that drug? Neuropathy. Neuropathy. Whatever. Gotta pay up the ass.
Access granted.
So the name of the gas station is something that I came up with while we're designing the textures. The name Oran is actually one of the provinces of Nigeria, which is a country that is totally being decimated by Exxon with all the oil exploitation, and they're making sure that it's a puppet government that's in place, that's the education, the population kind of got educated and stuff like that to make sure that they'll never really rebel against the exploitation that the U.S. and Exxon is doing there. But anyway, I suggest that you go research this. It's really interesting, and here's just a little snippet of information that we decided to, let's take some of what's going on there and somehow put it in the game.
I see you got my message, cabrón.
Sanders. You're taking a risk meeting this close to Seraph headquarters.
Same risk as you, considering you're the one who let me go. But I don't plan to stick around that long.
Yeah? So what's this about?
I did some house cleaning after the plant. And I turned up some intel on that gearhead motherfucker who used me and my brother. Chink left the pocket secretary behind. Don't say who he was working for, but it's got access codes, names, shit like that.
Why are you giving it to me?
Maybe I don't like feeling like I owe you. Or maybe I figured I'd send a snake to kill a snake. Take or leave it, pendejo. Either way, my debt is paid.
Look at the equipment you've got. Woo! Why not give me a little demo? There's just something about a man who's augmented.
Come on, Jensen, make this quick. We shouldn't be seen together before you're done with everything.
If this O'Malley guy is such a big mastermind, won't he do a background check on me or have me followed?
Of course. But lucky for us, the guy in charge of this spy games business is our mole. Don't worry, Jensen. You're covered.
I haven't walked the beat in a while. Could you give me a quick sit rep of the local gangs?
You know, gangs are not the finest example of evolution, if you catch my drift. Everything's pretty much the same. The derelict row ballers are still dealing and stealing, getting into fights with Augs, and defacing augmented people's property.
Yeah, right. Upstanding citizens.
And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have the Motor City Bangers. Ignorant scumbags just like the DRBs, only some of them are augmented scumbags.
How about the target, O'Malley? Got any more info?
He's a cop, but he went on assignment with the feds for a while. No reports, no address, nothing. We're pretty sure he got tied up in major covert ops, but never got anything solid on him. He has a badge, but he doesn't feel like a cop at all.
That's all for now.
So the entry of Delaric Row, like we had this door, which was kind of the main path, the choke point to get into the gang territory, but it turned out that it was really hard to draw players' attention in that direction. They were always distracted by other things, and we did tons of things here to try to draw their attention in that direction.
Yeah, and trying to link this whole environment, the whole derelict row environment, very gameplay, very combat approach, combat supported, and to stream that environment, which visually is completely different from the rest of the city hub. Then to technically stream it properly, we had to make sure that the door is not always facing forward the street itself, and we have some kind of a S-shape type of corridor, so typical in level design, but it was very difficult because of the placement of the door itself. So.
And after that, like we were kind of putting some letters that were blinking, like
Yeah, there's that sign,
Yeah.
but it's not directly on top of that place.
No,
but
it was
it's
too
much
high,
higher. But
yeah.
it's just the way that we ended up lighting it, and it ended up attracting a lot of the. There's
Yeah.
attention. Yep.
No offense, but if it were up to me, this place would have a no-aug policy.
Welcome home, Mr. Jensen.
So Adam's apartment is one of the, I think, the most intricate, kind of interesting places in the game. During the production, we actually called it the Adams Museum, and the whole idea is because that's what we wanted it to be. We wanted people to just walk through it, and just by observing, just through all the show don't tell, to get a lot of information on Adam's background and Adam's personality and what's happened to him in the past, and also show that he likes cereals a lot. And also there's a secret stash behind the TV, which is a bit of an homage to the first Deus Ex, which was I think in Paul's apartment, where you had all the secret stuff with the computers behind the shelves and whatnot. And also Mary does all this stuff
there's all this stuff on the workbench, because we had written in his backstory this big long thing about how he's always been a collector. He used to go to old secondhand stores and stuff and find old mechanical objects that he liked to take apart, and because he was curious and he was very into that. And so we pulled that out. And what was interesting about it is we didn't actually tell the story of his backstory, but people who came and saw that workbench then made up their own stories and basically wrote to us and were saying things like, wow, it's so cool. It's like how he's trying to understand his own body and his new mechanics. And I was like, oh, I like that backstory a lot better than what I came up with. So yeah, that's what we're going with.
But actually, it was that too. This room was supposed to give you all the personality of Adam Jensen through his environment. So.
Jensen!
How can I help you, Francis?
You know why I'm contacting you.
The transmission that's making a mockery of your security efforts?
It's keeping a back door open into our... network. None of us are secure unless you find the antenna that's sending it and shut it down.
For you, anything.
See? Didn't I tell you it was a stupid idea? Goddamn noises around here. What the hell? I'm about to peep.
I see you, Crow!
This environment, the whole courtyard environment, was the very first one where we basically tested outside of very independent gyms, very safe and static gyms from the programmer side. But this is where the actual in-game environment where we wanted to test, to play out with how the AI respond correctly from the player on the stealth aspect and also the combat aspect. And we had also the police station, but police station was mostly corridors. Here we had a very open type of environment with verticality and whatnot. So it was a very old environment, but it was almost a test gen that we actually produced and left in the game. So
Yo, somebody stop him!
Get him! He bust his ass!
this environment, the whole courtyard, first one where we basically tested outside of very independent gyms, very safe and static gyms from the programmer side. But this is where the actual in-game environment where we wanted to test, to play out with how the AI respond correctly from the player on the stealth aspect and also the combat aspect. And we had also the police station, but police station was mostly corridors. Here we had a very open type of environment with verticality and whatnot. So it was a very old environment, but it was almost a test gen that we actually produced and left in the game. So
had cable. How comes I ain't getting nothing but Picus news?
That's all we do get, ever since that Purity dude went up on the roof and hacked the antenna.
Sanders' friend? You let him up near the helipad?
You said it, yes. What the hell is going on?
United in their cause to find a common ground. Should that be so far, Mr.
Here's the antenna that we need to shut down to end this this part of the quest. The thing is that, you know, it looks like a pretty normal antenna at this point, but it used to be very, very high design, I guess. we had designed some.
Access granted.
Boss, is that back door still open?
No, good job. Frank just sent me the all clear. Now it's time to find the bastards who attacked us. Farida, you standing by?
On the line, boss. Jensen, you reading me?
Loud and clear.
Stay close to the antenna. Pritchard sent me the coordinates for it. I'm coming to pick you up. Mr. Jensen, your limo has arrived. You ready to leave?
Yeah, let's go.
Great. Detroit local. This is Sarah Industries Bravo Echo Echo 008. Continuing on.
Richard, you got coordinates on that factory yet?
I was only able to pinpoint an approximate area, Jensen. So scout around and look for anything unusual. I'll keep monitoring the frequency in case it suddenly goes active.
So now Jensen enters into is about to enter the FEMA camp and everything. In the story, what happens really is that when Jensen gets there, that the Black Ops are about to wrap up like their operation in Detroit, and they're supposed to fly away for another mission. And we were supposed to see a lot of Black Ops really wrapping up, like putting back their gears in the trucks and stuff like that.
They have the cranes on the trucks, picking up crates.
Exactly. And that's in the cutscene. We see a few in the background at some point, but it's very subtle. And when we were back in gameplay, we were supposed to have scripted events that were continuing to tell that story. But we ran out of time and we weren't able to pull this off. So in the end, it stayed very, very shallow.
No loose ends, Barrett.
I'll make the call.
Malik, get out of sight, now.
Why? What's going on?
They're here. The mercs who killed Megan and her team.
Fuck.
I'm going in.
I hate running with our tail between our legs like this. Orders are orders. Besides, we're about to... Somebody. Maybe even the same guy who got inside that door before we did. My hands will back break. You see Ander's face when he